Okay, now it's recording. I had the last one recorded, so you can go back to that one too, which I'm just redoing everything so that way you guys can have this. So now that we have our guy in the background, what we can do now is go to our content aware fill. And I'm not seeing the button to fill.
I think we had this problem last week.
We did. There we go. Look at that. I fixed it. So it just needed to be expanded a little bit. So we're gonna make sure that it's on the surface. And what that is what that's saying is we want to just fill this area. This is the surface, not this. Okay. And then we want the range to be work area where we want to fill what we were working in. Does that make sense? So now we're gonna generate that fill layer. After Effects is gonna tell me to save. Probably should save. Because it might crash. So now it's gonna analyze, and that might take a little bit of time. And while it's doing that, Britlin, you're up. Good thing, bad thing. Over the weekend. I saw you at Chick-fil-A yesterday. Not yesterday, Saturday. Saturday. I was getting Chick-fil-A and I waved at you. You didn't see me. It's okay.
You mean where I was running 100 miles per minute doing everyone's job?
Yeah, well, I want to know, there's another girl in the photo program that works there too.
Warren?
Yeah, and I guess the people are not nice.
They aren't.
It's crazy.
You can attest to that.
Garrett, how'd you do this weekend?
I worked a lot, made some good money, and got shit faced. What about you?
Oh my god. What did I do this weekend? Well, I'll save my stuff for last. Ryan, go ahead.
I'm the same as Garrett. Worked and got shit faced.
Aubrey. You're muted, so I can't hear your word you're saying. How was your weekend? I still can't hear you, Aubrey. Megan, can you translate?
How about this? Can you hear
There
me
we
now?
go. There we go. Yes.
Fuck's sake. What was the question?
I just asked, how was your weekend? While this is analyzing, which it's gonna take, I guess, a buttload of time.
Good. I slept most of it, so I mean.
Wow. All right. Dominic, how was your
I mean, if
weekend?
you're talking about, then yeah.
It was, besides Friday, it was pretty all right. Well, we
Yeah.
went to a restaurant on Saturday and it was the worst service we ever have. So we dined and dashed, and that was the first time I've ever done that in my life. I felt kind of bad.
You
they were
dined and
terrible.
dashed?
Yeah, they were terrible. They acted like we were not there. We had to get up and walk.
Hey, this is being recorded. Calm down. Don't say nothing.
She's dumb. I didn't expect you to do that.
Well, I expect to be served and not act like
That's
I'm not
true.
there.
That is true.
It was a six, like it was, I just came, I went out of town to go there. I
I
expect
was
to
out.
be treated like I'm there and not walked by every time you walk by me and not talk to me and not ask me if I need anything. They never gave us silverware, never gave us napkins. We had to get up and ask multiple different waitresses and waiters to get us water. And we asked for our check like 5 times, and we asked for boxes. And this girl watched us get our boxes from someone else, watched us box our stuff. And we sat there for another 10 minutes waiting before we casually walked out. Like, they had all the chances to stop us too. We stopped and got gumballs at the door. So I think they deserved it.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And I've been a service worker for the last decade, so I'm not paying for that.
I got confused. I thought you were like
What restaurant?
talking about us.
It was it was a tiny restaurant in a tiny town.
I want to know the restaurant.
I will tell you outside of it.
Brady, Brady, how was your weekend?
Did he go back?
Brady, I'm going to mark you absent if you don't answer.
Shut it, nerd. I was working on it.
Alright, it is marked absent for Brady since he's being a douche.
Ugh.
I'm just kidding.
Alright,
I already got it.
so
We're good.
I played some Hogwarts this weekend.
Oh my god.
Yep. And
Why'd you do that?
found some diamonds in Minecraft. That's about it.
I am
Bruh.
fearful. I am fearful for our next generation of people.
I'm not.
I am.
The next generation's got it better than any other generation. We're good.
We are gonna die in the apocalypse.
We'll see about that. Okay, my god, this is like horrible.
If I'm being completely honest with you, I have no idea how to get to where you are.
Well, that's why we're recording this so you can look
That's
back.
why we turn our cameras on.
Hey Dom, I've got a question for you.
Oh, am I not muted? Okay. Yeah.
Are you playing a game right now?
Huh?
Are you
Yeah,
playing a game right now?
he's playing Hogwarts,
have
no
my-
doubt.
No, I have my screen on my computer.
Okay, it looks like you're playing a game, and I'm like, geez, leave this out of the fun.
Have a dog there.
I would rather be reading, or I would be reading right now.
Okay, so what did I do this weekend? Does anybody wanna know or y'all just don't
Yeah.
really care? God,
People
freaking
need-
horrible people.
What
I'm
did you
just
do?
kidding. I cleaned my garage out.
Hello?
Nice.
So
Ew.
you're supposed to hit like general fill later, right?
Yes, and it's taking me a really long time for some
Every
reason.
time I click it, nothing appears, nothing works.
Do you see this section right here that says parallax effect analyzing 25% or?
Nope.
Okay, let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Well, actually, yes, now it's working.
Oh, okay. Cause I can actually
thinking
get
it
into
wasn't.
your computer and look at it myself. Well, now let me share my screen back. Share. Okay. My God. It never takes me this long. Why is it stuck at 25%?
It doesn't like you.
What the hell? Well, if we can't fill it, I don't know what we're gonna do, guys. I guess we could throw it in Photoshop and clone stamp the guy out. We could do that. That works too. Or we could just take a whole completely different photo and use that background. Why is it staying at 25%? I'm gonna cancel it and then do it again. Let me see. This is gonna help.
Oh, where's the picture of that guy again?
Isn't it in announcements, I think?
It's in the announcements.
Announcements?
I
Yep.
think so.
Yes.
Yep. And then announcements. Parallax photo.
Gracias.
I think I just lowered my work area, so it should be a little bit faster there. If not, I'm gonna start prepping for. I'm just gonna take the background and start clone stamping that to save time, essentially. How am I need some tea. What's so funny, Britlin? Huh, Britlin?
We're
So
talking
fun.
shit. Don't worry about it.
Mainly about Brady, so it's fine.
Oh, it's all about Brady.
When is it not about Brady, according to Brady?
That's so uncalled
Oh
for.
my god.
Damn,
in-
son.
The newest upcoming sitcom, all about Brady, by Brady, for Brady.
Paid for by Brady Advertising.
Produced and shot by Brady.
That'd be a banging TV show.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Nah, it'd be all right.
Watch that movie.
It'd be a Amazon Prime exclusive.
Amazon Prime exclusive.
It still
If I can land Amazon Prime exclusive, that's pretty darn good.
Is it?
But you
Yeah.
won't, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean Amazon, any of those big companies exclusive. That's all right with me.
Well, good luck with that, Brady. I think you have a great shot of getting that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was my idea. Thought it up just now, and
Yes, exactly your idea.
I thought it was
That
Megan's
Exactly.
idea.
exactly. That's the point.
This is Hollywood, baby. This is how it works.
Yeah, her idea, mine now.
That's how the world works, man. Just take ideas from other people. It's a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh. I feel like my stomach is turning on the inside.
That's pretty
That's-
neat.
That's often what a stomach ache feels like. Oh, I think it stopped. I think it stopped rendering.
What happened?
I think it stopped rendering.
Yes! Yes, it's working!
Your little
Sorry.
man disappeared, so.
Yep, so that's perfect. That's what we want. Sorry, I was starting to clone stamp the background just so if we needed to run. Okay, here we go. We're back in business. Meat's back on the menu, boys.
I
Hey,
got
you
that
gotta calm
reference.
down, man.
Bro, that's from Lord of the Rings. Come on, man. Okay, so here's our generated. I'm looking over here because you guys are over here. Okay, so here's our generated fill layer. Okay, so you can kind of tell, you can see the guy, right? That's because I did a really crappy job of masking that guy out. When you do a good job of masking him out, you can see his fingers over here too. You won't see any of that. Okay. For time's sake, I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay. But essentially this is where we stopped from last time. So here you generate the fill layer. It takes sorry. It takes all this information from around the photo and fills it in. Okay. It's essentially like a clone stamp tool in Photoshop, but you don't have to do any of the work. So now we have our fill layer right here. Do you guys see that? This is our fill layer right here. If I turn that off, it turns on. Okay. Now we're gonna turn on our guy. We're gonna raise him above that fill layer. This is important. He was right here. Now we're raising him above. Okay. Because he needs to be above this layer. Okay. So now here's our dude, and I can throw him wherever I want. I can animate him. I can do whatever I want. I can have him fly in like this. Oh, whatever. But we're gonna introduce a new tool to do some movements, some realistic movements, and it's called, oh God, go up. It's called the puppet position tool. Okay, and so this puppet position tool, basically you set it up on an image that you can maneuver that image. So you want to put points on this image where you want to move, essentially. So you think of an arm, right? In the bracket of that arm. So I would put a point here on my arm and a point here on my wrist and a point here right here, because I want to move my arm and wave it up and down, right? So I'm going to start by putting a point on the foot, putting a point on that guy, put in point right here. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Put some points over here. Put a point on the head, on the neck, one on the camera, one on the phone. And that looks pretty good. You kind of, again, you just want to put all the points on the joints. Okay, points on the joints. Hey. So Dominic's the only one laughing. Y'all have no humor. Okay, so points on the joints. And so each of these points you'll be able to maneuver. You'll be able to move around. So now what we're gonna do is that now we have our points selected. We're gonna go to this drop down. Okay. You're gonna see the effects tab right down here. This wasn't here before. After we put these points on, now it's here. And then you're gonna see puppet. And when you click that puppet, you're gonna see all these different settings and you're gonna see mesh 1. Okay. Why am I not seeing? There it is. So each of these puppet pins, there's 14 of them. Is there really 14? Doesn't look like that. Each of those right here are these. Okay, does that make sense? It's just in your timeline, all right? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna animate this guy, make him move around, whatever. And when I click and drag that, you can see him wiggle. You know, kind of like freaking expand, what's it freaking called? Fat,
It's like
A Stretch Armstrong.
yes, thank you. Like you can make him do whatever you want. You can have him kick himself in the face, whatever. Well, I'm just gonna do light movements here. So now let's go to our mesh 1 deform. That's our pin number 1. So we've created a keyframe right there. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is just move a couple frames over. We're gonna just drag that down. Okay. And I'm actually gonna drag this keyframe out more to probably 4 seconds. And if I play this back, you're seeing that move slightly. I'm actually gonna make it move faster, more down. Okay. It's rendering. But you see the picture, you see it's moving. Once it renders through, it moves all the way down. I might even actually make it move down more so it's faster.
So it's kind of like the bouncing ball animation
A little bit,
in that
yeah.
way.
Yep, a little bit. And we're only putting like 2 keyframes, unless you wanted to be exotic and do a whole bunch of different keyframes. But I'm just doing beginning and end to make it simple. Cause he's falling, right? He's technically, we're gonna make him fall. So now the next one that I'm gonna do, pin number 4, is I'm gonna create that keyframe. I'm gonna go over here, that's created, you see it right there. And I'm gonna have his leg, oops. I'm gonna go to that same spot where I ended and just have his leg fall just a little bit. Okay. And if you wanna move the joints, you can. So in that 4 seconds, we got 2 legs moving. Okay. So now we got our legs moving. I'm gonna move this arm now. So let's do pin number 13. There's my keyframe. And I'm just gonna have him fly the oh, sorry. I'm gonna go to the 4 frame mark and have him fly the camera up. And maybe move his arm a little bit at the same time. Okay. So there is his arm moving. It's rendering, so it's super jiggity. And if you want it to be faster, you could just move the keyframes closer into like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. Okay. Okay, as it renders through, perfect. Now let's just watch that over. So there's a nice smooth whatever of him moving. So now we're gonna move. Let's move this arm. I'm gonna have it move maybe up. And it kind of looks a little weird, so you kind of have to mess with it a little bit. And then we're gonna have this maybe fall up a little bit this way. And then we're gonna mess with his neck over here. Let me just zoom in a little bit so I can kind of see it here. I'm gonna click on that pin. I'm gonna have it maybe move up and then his head back. Oh! Maybe move that neck back a little bit. So you guys see that? Are you seeing the movements that I'm creating? So now we've
Currently cutting out my dude still.
okay, that's fine. Now that we've created the dude's movement with a puppet tool. And if you wanted to do the hips and move that, if you wanted to, I'm not gonna do that for this lesson. I'm just gonna kind of just show you the basics, right? And then you guys be creative in that aspect. Now we essentially are gonna just click these drop downs back and we're just gonna go to the transform section right here. And we're gonna animate. If we want it to fall down slowly, we can do that. So I'm just gonna click on the position tool. And I'm gonna have him off screen. And then at the 2-second mark or 3-second mark, I'm just gonna have him fly down. Okay. I'm just gonna see what that looks like. It might be really fast. That's way too fast. I'm gonna easy ease those keyframes. And you can see a little bit here as you're falling. Do you see that right there? That is because I did a horrible job masking him around. So that's the reason why that looks like that. So now he's just pretty much just falling out of the sky. You see him moving. Look how perfect that looks, like the movement, that looks great. You can add music to it if you want, him screaming, whatever, bloody murder. You know, Ryan could have him voice over himself, screaming, whatever. Okay, that's a little too much.
Like that, is that what you mean?
Yes. But
Yeah, thanks for the idea.
essentially, that's it. That's literally it. That's the project right there. That's the Parallax project. It's all about cutting it out, masking it in, or sorry, masking it out, cutting it out, generating that fill layer, and then using the puppet tool on this layer, the guy layer, and making movement, making the image come to life. I'll have this up on YouTube so you guys can see it.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So every time that I do any mask, I just like it fills it all with red.
Let's share your screen, Brady.
I'm on my phone.
Well, I don't know how I can help you there. It fills it all with red. I think that's because your background is red. I
It's
think
black.
it is black. Is your layers 3D?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jared, I'll be right back. My Chrome just crashed.
You're good. We're almost done here, so. No, that's not it.
Yeah, it's like I can't even see where I'm like cutting anymore because
Can
there's
I-
too much red in the way.
Can you show me, like, flip your screen on your phone and look at
My,
it so I can kind of
yeah, my
see?
camera's broken though, dog. So
I can still see.
I'm trying to figure out how to switch it. There it is. Yeah.
Oh boy.
See what I mean?
Oh, it's because you see that red icon up there on the top? Sorry, the toolbar. Here, let me share my screen so you can see. Yep, right there. Click on the actual letter that says fill and make that transparent.
Hey.
And then do the same thing with the stroke. Press stroke. Make that
I
transparent.
actually have to click it.
Yeah, click the letter. Let's talk about that since that's been happening a couple times. Oh God, my freaking throat is killing me. Oh, fudge. So when we're up here on these tool layers, guys, there's multiple different things, right? There's multiple different tools. I'm just gonna throw this on here. Okay. Go away. Thank you. God, so rude. Oops. Oh, wait, Brady,
Huh.
did you select a layer before you started with the pen tool?
I don't know, maybe.
I don't think you did, dude. You gotta select the layer. That's what we talked about right at the beginning. You have to select the layer itself and then select the pen tool and start tracing around it. If you're not selecting the layer itself, it creates a shape layer, which is the reason why that popped up, as you can see here.
Oh, so I just gotta start over again. God, okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna do this later then.
What the heck happened to my freaking After Effects?
So the video's up, right?
Yeah, I'll post the video up on YouTube. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me go back to sharing my screen.
I'm gonna go do that then.
We're not done. So hold your horses.
Okay.
Okay, so once we have our animation, which is here. This is my work area. How do we export, guys? Do you remember how to export? Yep.
Go
Well, then
to composition, render queue it.
go to file, export. We could do add to render queue. Format H.264 or QuickTime. H.264 will be an MP4 file. And that should be fine, but if it doesn't work, then there's a reason why it's not working. So then once you do that, you render. And it'll go through,
How was it, Aubrey?
and then you're done. And then you post it up on YouTube and send me a YouTube link of your work. I'm going to quit recording this.